Okay, I'm going to start. Hopefully this works. Share my screen.
Okay, let me.
And I'm just going to share the Google Doc right now.
Okay.
Do you see it okay, Bruce?
Yes.
Fantastic. So welcoming is basically, we're the first friendly kind of cyber face when someone comes into the welcome channel or the general channel. And so when you're on a welcome shift, you want to have Slack open, and you're going to be looking for notifications in the help desk channel. And you'll get a ping that says someone has entered. It usually has Dylan's name on it, and it lists the person's name, and then we switch into general. So the channels you use often are the help desk channel, general channel, and then welcomers talk to each other in the T4 welcomers channel. So those are the three main channels that you'd want to watch while you're on a welcoming shift. So once we get that first initial ping, where we have someone that comes into help desk, and it would say just like that, if you scroll down, it says at channel, a new member has just joined. And it gives their handle in Slack, which is very, very helpful. And you just go into the general channel, use their Slack channel, and then have a personalized message. I tend to use a lot of emojis or double exclamation marks. So it's whatever's personal and something that you can use and type in quickly, especially if we have a lot of people coming into the channel at once. It's something that you can just remember. So mine's like, hi, welcome. I'm going to send you a message. I try to emphasize that my name's going to show up in bold. To get text to show up in bold in Slack, you use the asterisk before and after. And then that bolds it. It doesn't show it on your screen as bold, but when you send it, it turns bold. And sometimes depending on how many come in and my time, I'll let them know to look either if they're using Slack on their phone, to look at the top on the Slack app, because the new messages come up at the top, or it'd be on the left-hand side, my name in bold. And then once you've welcomed them in the general channel, then you go into a DM and just give them more information and try to be as helpful and upbeat as possible. We're just that first person who is their first contact in the channel, and sometimes the first time being in Slack at all. And so part of it is welcoming them, and part of them is training on how to use Slack, how to get into the channels, and what to expect. So skipping down to number 5, and let me know if I'm going too fast. So this would be the message that we have pinned right now in the T4R Welcomers channel. And I can, if you're not in there right now, I can invite you after the
I think I'm in.
Training. Well, you're in. Awesome. So this is what Sue was so kind enough to create. So copy and paste, and I include their Slack handle, so they get that ping noise if they have either desktop or their phone, so that kind of gives them that incentive to try to find where it's coming from, and then they can find my name. And so that's a message that I have in a DM to myself, and that I can copy and paste quickly, either when I'm using welcoming on my phone, using the Slack app, or the desktop version. I did kind of skip ahead, sorry. So once we first get someone into the channel, if you look at the screenshot, we have that heavy check mark. This one is on green. We use that to claim the person, so we don't have several people welcoming the same person more than once. So if you see a check mark, either black, green, or white, that means someone has already claimed them and you don't need to send a welcome. Once they've been claimed, then that person will then welcome them in the general channel, and you can just kind of keep an eye out if there's several people welcoming at the same time. Let them know again that they're going to send a DM directly to them, send that DM, and then ask if they have any questions. If you are able to actually have a conversation with them, because a lot of times we have people who are coming in who are already used to Spoke or have actually been sending with us as a member of a text bank, but this is the first time they're coming into Slack. You might just get a message saying, I'm already sending, I'm great, thank you. And then you can go back in and use the 100% by their name. So when you've welcomed everyone, they should have a heavy check mark. And then if you know that they've confirmed that they have the Spoke guide, they're in the channel that they want to be in, and they're actually sending, we add the 100%. So that lets everybody else know that they should be trained. So if there's any questions, it might be smaller questions, and someone who just goes straight into the texting channel, says I'm ready to text, but they've never received the Spoke guide. They can't get into Spoke because they don't know how to get into Spoke. the 100% lets the moderators know that they have received the guide, they've opened the guide, they've gotten into Spoke, and they've confirmed that with you as the welcomer. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay.
By the way, yeah, actually I do.
Okay.
The asterisk on either side of your name, I kind of missed how do you do that?
Oh, definitely. So let me do it in, because Sue has it written out here. So right here, if I highlight that please store the link in your DM to yourself, so it'll be handy for future reference.
Okay.
See these two asterisks, the one at the beginning and the end of the sentence?
Yeah.
That's the way it's typed out in Slack, but when you send it to someone, that'll actually bold that text.
Okay.
So it makes it stand out. So it's
Okay.
so it catches their eye.
Okay.
And that way, and that's why I do it as well. When I welcome, I type in asterisk, bold, asterisk. And so when I send them the message in general, they don't see the asterisk, but that letter, the bold is actually bolded,
Right.
so they
Okay.
can look at that in Slack. So they look for a name that's brighter than the other ones, and then hopefully they match it up. That's my name, and then we can start talking in the DM.
Okay, but okay, so yeah, I get how when you send them the message, the DM, that part of it will be bold. Little not clear how you get your name bold. I mean, isn't that automatically bold when
It
you
is, and
send
it's
them a
just
DM? Okay.
just to let
Okay.
them in, because when they're
Yeah.
first coming into Slack, the
Okay.
first channels that they should see are probably general.
Right.
And if they're added automatically to text for resistance, that one will show up,
Yeah.
but the other channels may not show up. So if we
Right.
have someone who wants to come in only to help with Wisconsin Choice, that option may not be on the left-hand
Right.
side of their screen or the top
Right.
on their phone. So then we can actually manually add them by going into the channel and typing in their Slack handle and doing like a welcome, like, this is the awesome New York channel for New York for the many, or
Right.
this is where our awesome Wisconsin activists hang out, and then their name, and then that'll activate the Slack bot, and you'll have a little message to say invite them to the channel. Click on that, and then they're automatically in the channel, and they'll get a message saying you've now been added to that channel.
Okay. I think I'm good.
Some are pros and they've already added themselves to all the channels that they want. Others need a little bit more assistance because this might be the first time on Slack. And that's pretty much it. When we're phone banking, we can add them to the call channel. It really helps if you have some experience using either the dialer or Spoke, which I know you're a total rock star texter, Bruce, so you won't have any problems. But just to answer some questions, because sometimes when you're the first person who welcomes them, you will get questions that really should probably be answered by a moderator. Like this person is asking how to get to the rally. Do we know if there's parking? And so you might get that in a DM because you were their first contact.
Right,
and then I usually just is super polite, like, oh, that's a fantastic question. I'm not in the texting channel right now, but what I can do is I can ask for you. In the future, you'd want to ask the mod on duty. And if I know who that is, I'd use their handle. And then I will go into the texting channel and ask the question, then copy them. So they kind of see that's where we ask for questions. Ask questions, then get answers versus in a DM to the welcomer.
Okay. And the other thing is, a lot of times I'll see, looks like Dylan is the welcomer, but I know Dylan's not around. So there's like it automatically populates a message.
It is,
okay.
and that is just as a safety to make sure everybody gets that personal touch and to help them get some more information. Usually we try to have a welcomer on as much as possible, but sometimes we just can't. And then they get the automatic message, and so they can kind of self-assign themselves to the right channels, and then follow up. So if let's say I stepped away from my computer and we had 4 come in right away, and when I come back, I see they have been welcomed by the welcome bot, and then I might just do one group message and use all of their handles and say that I will send them messages individually. So they have that, because the DM is personal. So as long as it's just between me and the person I'm DMing, that's a personal conversation. But that way I don't have lines of welcome, the same message over and over. So I'm gonna be like, welcome John, Sue, Cole, and Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to send you each a message. And that's one way to catch everybody. That's pretty much welcoming.
Okay.
If anything changes, if we have someone who, or a candidate that we're working exclusively for, and we know people coming in are going to be only wanting to text for that person, I might adjust my DM message
Mhm.
instead of the text for resistance. If I know they're going to be coming into Wisconsin or New York or Stacey Abrams, I'll point them there. But usually at the end, I just ask, is there a certain candidate or project that they want to help with? And then I can direct them into that
Okay.
channel.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Great. And
Okay.
thank you. And any other questions?
I'm good.
Okay. Right now we're not, we basically kind of self-schedule ourselves and we let people know if we can welcome in the T4R Welcomers channel.
Mhm.
We don't have a standard schedule. If we need to, we can definitely set that up so we know we're shifted. But usually it's whoever is able to watch the channel and can either do it on the desktop with Slack open or their phone and then catch as many people as they possibly can. And if you need help, definitely that's the place to ask for extra people, or you need to eat. You've been
Yeah.
on for 8 hours. You need a
Yeah.
break. You can
Yeah.
post in there and someone is
Yeah.
always willing to cover the channel. All right. Well, thank you, Bruce. I hope you have a
Okay.
fantastic day. Thank you, Sue.